Alright, it's a crush program this midweek, Love Angles on Click Naija Internet Radio, where we get to examine different issues that concern romantic relationship as we prefer advices or even solution on how to make them work better. But of course, what we appreciate most on this program is your stance on whatever issue we try to hash out on the program. Yes, and that's what makes the program fun. So we are definitely looking forward to some of your comments. Yeah, my name is Jennifer Ogo on the program, and of course, you are welcome once again. The question is right there on your screen. So, the topic we shall be hashing out today, like I told you, is on your screen. So, between the person who stood by you when you had nothing, like when your account was really red, and the one who helped you become somebody, who would you marry? This is a very vital question because, so especially for the male folks, there comes a time in life where probably you met someone who you've known okay for some time. You know, you people began to know each other as friends. It started from there, and one thing led to another. You fell in love, and probably she was there for you. You know, for the downtime, like when you hit rock bottom, like she was there for you, like 247. It won't go as far as feeding you, for instance, but along the line, of course, during the relationship, you now met this other person who actually boomed your career, like gave you that lift, that push in your career. And you're caught in between the one who stood by you when you had nothing and the one who actually made you to become something now in your career. You begin to, come up with different options, different opinions. You might even go as far as taking advice now from one or two persons. So in this instance, who would you marry? Who would you marry? And I'm actually going to take it's kind of like illustrating this movie, the very popular movie by, Tyler Perry, Acrimony. I mean, imagine that scenario. Of course, I'm not telling you to, choose any side now in the movie. Imagine Tiraji P. Henson as the woman who stood by him. I mean, even went ahead to sponsor his university, his degree, education from that point in his life, and he now met the other lady who actually made his career to boom, like he hit jackpot at the point in time in his life when he needed it. I mean, if you're in his shoes, what would you do? Who would you pick as a wife? Or let us know right there in the comment box on the program today. Yes, love angles. So on today's program, we are moving ahead. So it's not all about talking about relationship, this, that, don't cheat, don't do that. Nah, let's just let's just hit the nail right, on the head, and let's just talk about marriage. Now, I'm not married, I'm not a counselor, I'm not a marriage counselor, but of course, you need to know what you're doing before you get married. And I believe the decision you make as to who you will marry is one of the most important decisions in your life, like you will ever make in life. So, who you marry will greatly affect your sense of fulfillment and, of course, your future. Yep, to make or marry you, it's very significant. That's why you don't want to make a mistake, of picking the wrong partner. You really need to be intentional about the partner you want to pick as a wife or as a husband for life. Now, in recent times, 50% of all marriages end in divorce. Like, we don't know why people keep asking, why is it that this generation, they were not like our forefathers, our mothers, their marriage lasted this, that. Sometimes you just need to really think critically about some of all these questions because there might just be some missing gaps that we are definitely not looking at when it comes to marriage and staying together. Yeah, so no one marries to get divorced, definitely. I mean, everyone thinks that they found the one. Yep, I don't want to put air quotes because I'm definitely serious now on this. So no one wants to marry and get divorced. Everyone thinks that they found the right person, when they get married to that person. Of course, there are lots of reasons for divorces, but a big one is if you married the wrong person. It can be like, what happened to me that time? Did you use jazz? Some of all these questions, are questions that we want to be avoiding in the future. when you marry the wrong person, it could be a bitter pill, to swallow, or you are the wrong person for that marriage. Like you feel like maybe the person is too good for you, you just want to live life and stuff. I don't want to start giving instances, all right? But we are definitely going to be talking about finding the right partner. And finding the right partner to marry is a serious business. You need to be attracted to each other. Yeah, physically. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, like commonly say. But who you choose to marry goes far beyond your looks, physical attributes, and even material things. It has to do with the character, who they are inside, qualities that you will still have for a long time. Because, hey, guess what? Beauty fades, but character and the inner qualities, they last forever. And that's what keeps the marriage a-okay. So drop your comment right there in the comment box on the question for today, between the person who stood by you when you had nothing and the one who helped you become somebody financially and in your career. Who would you marry? So let's start exploring some qualities that are important when choosing the person you are going to marry. Now, some of all these qualities I'm listing out won't just be limited to, just me. You're free to make your opinion on some qualities, someone should definitely look out in terms of choosing a life partner. Probably you've been married for so long, for so many years. Would definitely appreciate your input on the program today. So let's look at some qualities that are important when choosing the person you are going to marry. Number one is be certain about life goals. Yes, this is very, very important. So it may happen that the goals of the two of you are not the same. Maybe one person wants to stay in Nigeria and the other person wants to travel out. Conflict of interest. That's definitely the beginning of a big problem that might end in a divorce. God forbid, sha. But be certain about your life goals. And if that happens, it is not going to be easy, as it will pose a lot of problem in your day-to-day life. Yeah, when there is like a conflict of interest. Now, this also asks for a lot of more adjustments and understanding from the both of you, because at the end of the day, one person has to dock. Yeah, two captains cannot lead a ship or anchor a boat. All right. However, when the hearts are one, it is possible to surpass any challenge and come out victorious. So see if you both can pursue your individual goals with oneness in heart. Number two is a commitment to you, and your marriage commitment is very important. Now, a successful marriage takes a lot of hard work and sacrifice. That word is not as long as the work you have to put in it. Sacrifice. Yeah, so if you're not absolutely committed to making the marriage work, it doesn't stand a chance. In marriage, feelings come and they go, but loving someone by an act of your will can save your marriage. So it is so great when a guy knows his wife is committed to him and she knows her husband is committed to her. you know in return, every successful relationship has to have a strong foundation of trust and commitment. So if the person you're considering marrying is not committed to you, get out. Like, skedaddle out of that relationship, because that person won't even stay, even if you pop a question or put a ring to it. So commitment is very vital in any relationship. Another one is friendship, and this is the one I love the most. Friendship is a must in a relationship. Friendship between a husband and a wife is the highest form of friendship of all, because they gossip, they tell each other everything, they confide in each other and or whatnot. So friends never intend to hurt each other. Yeah, that and since the husband and the wife are best of friends, a lot of peace should really prevail between the both of you always. So do you see a good friend in your prospective partner? That is something that you should be asking yourself. Do you see a good friend, or do you see a sex mate, or do you see a cook or a chef? Or do you see a cleaner? So these are some of the questions you need to be asking yourself. Are you marrying because you need someone to be doing house chores for you, or you're marrying because you need a friend? So you need to ask yourself that question. Are you able to connect with him or her, easily? After marriage, you'll be able to run a home like two friends would. Consider these questions while choosing a life partner. Well, if you're just joining us, the question is right there on your screen, right there in the caption. Between the person who stood by you when you had nothing and the one who helped you become somebody, something, who would you marry? Yeah, that's what we want to find out on the program. And as we are moving on right now, we're highlighting some qualities, very important qualities that are vital when choosing a partner or a person you are going to marry. And we mentioned having, being on the same page in terms of life goals and careers, being committed, to that relationship. Friendship is also a must in any form of relationship. Another one is unconditional love and respect. So there are people who stay in marriages out of commitment, to their vows, and yet their relationships still can still be loveless. Seriously. So unconditional love states that I accept you the way you are, and even though there are areas, in your life that you need to change, I still want to be with you. Never marry someone thinking once you're married you will automatically change them. That's not happening. Like Nehi, you can't change an adult. That I know for sure. It's almost impossible, right? So your husband or your wife may change, through a divine unction, maybe through God. And of course, it takes a long time to develop. Once you've been so used to a particular habit or character, it just takes a while to really evolve and change to that person you truly want to be deep within your heart. So, marriage will bring out the good and the bad side of you. You need to know the kind of partner who will be coming into your heart, into your house, but will love you the way you need to be loved. You both need God's love ultimately, because at the end of the day, God is the only third party that should be in any marriage, not parents, not siblings, no external factor whatsoever, just God. Qualities of a partner when you want to choose who to marry. That is what we are talking about. You can drop your comments right there. And of course, let us know some other qualities that are very vital when picking a life partner. Another very important one is the ability to forgive. Yes, to err is human, to forgive is divine. And since it's divine, it is not easy because you're not a demigod. You're a human being. And of course, you're bound to offend one or two persons and have some form of misunderstanding. But the ability to forgive makes you superhuman. So everyone makes mistakes, like I've told you, but the strength remains in the ability to forgive. There will be times when you may argue with your partner and may end up having differences in opinions too. But are both of you forgiving in nature? That is what you should be looking out for. Willing to forget the past and wanting to move on. I actually believe quarrels and squabbles in a relationship makes the relationship stronger, creates more bond, and really makes you know your partner more. Because once you don't have that, just like the teeth and the tongue, they fight. Of course, you're bound to have one or two issues while in that marriage, but the ability to evolve and learn from the mistakes you both have made one way or another, and of course to forgive. When I mean forgive, like forgive totally, not when the next quarrel happens now you're referring to what happened 3 weeks ago or a few months ago. Nah, forgive and forgive totally. Now, potential to be a great parent. This is one important quality to look out for when choosing a life partner. So, in the end, there are very few things in life that are truly important. Those things that often have to do with relationship, like that's why most people, at one time or another, dream of having a loving family. Who wouldn't want a loving family? Seriously. But raising children is a huge challenge. Ugh, I've never experienced that, but I've heard lots and lots of stories. And it's worth the work, but it can be hard. So when a husband and a wife team up together to help raise their children in a positive and loving way, a healthy, happy family can come about. So approaching parenting as a unified front makes a difference in a child's life. Another one is you getting along with each other's family, especially in Nigeria. When maybe an Idoma man is marrying a Bini woman, or a Yoruba man is marrying a Calabar woman, your family just have to merge and really, be in good terms with each other. So getting along with each other's family members is one of the most surprising things I've learned, you know, about families and marriages and raising, the family. So all of us, we come from different styles of families, and of course our families have huge impacts in what we believe and the way we act, but it takes some adjustments to be able to relate to someone else's family in a loving and meaningful way, and of course accommodate, because in Africa here, hmm, when your sister-in-law calls you and says, okay, oh auntie, I'm coming to, there's something that's bringing me to Abuja, there's something that's bringing me to Lagos, I'm coming to visit you, is your house they are staying in? No, they are not renting a hotel. The whites, they can decide to rent a hotel because they really respect each other's privacy. But in Africa here, at least here in Nigeria, we see it as a normal thing, like visiting any of your family members. Like there is no boundary whatsoever. So you need to love each other's members in order for peace to reign in the family. Yeah, so you really need to adjust and just accommodate each other's families. Now, does your future partner have bad habits like gambling or drugs, alcohol issues? I hate this part because it's almost impossible to change an alcoholic or someone who is an addict. So any kind of habits, of course, they have adverse impact in any kind of relationship. I mean, not to even say the least, something like sickness. Like if you have a strong habit of drinking too much, at some point in time in your life it will start to tell on you and you now be a burden to your partner. How selfish can you be? So I don't even see this as something to tolerate in any kind of relationship. Of course, sometimes you just develop bad habits, maybe due to life situations and everything, but it's not an excuse to keeping up with that habit. Like you just have to stop for the good of that relationship. So if you're someone who drinks, you smoke, and of course you have all of these negative vices all around you, you're a night crawler, you spend a lot, please just try to change, because it's at some point in time in that relationship, it might just start to things might start to fall apart and your partner might not be able to tolerate it. The most important one again is taking your time. Now, a good marriage partner can be hard to find. Yeah, do good things cannot finish. Good things are always there for you to grab, but good things do not come easy. Trust me. So there are plenty of pretenders. Very few people are real, so it's advisable to take your time and ask God to help you before getting married, because you really need God. You can't do it all by yourself. God knows you, right from when you were very little. So you really need God to push you in the right direction as to choosing a life partner. All right, I've been doing all the talking alone, and of course, I'm looking forward to your comments on the program for today. Once again, between the person who stood by you when you had nothing and the one who helped you become something or somebody, who would you marry? That is the answer we're expecting from you for that question. So, in conclusion, once you've decided to settle down with someone, that's your partner for life, the partner for a lifetime. A successful relationship stems from commitment, loyalty, sincerity, like I've mentioned earlier in the program. Always steer clear from holding your opinions tight. Seriously, learn to see things from the other person's eyes. So keep your expectations very low and light. Like, don't go and start imagining and expecting very big things that are not even there in the first place. And never get into a rat race of finding faults in each other to prove you are right. All right, admit that you both are not perfect. You're a work in progress. In fact, the marriage is a work in progress. All right, everybody's working to keep that marriage, but there are some things you just need to know before you decide to jump the broom or tie the knot. So if you are able to do this with your partner of your choice, know that your relationship, will be a happy roller coaster ride. Yes. So if you're able to be loyal, sincere, committed, do not really hold tight to your principles and you believe and you're like, I can't change, this is me, da da da. You're not ready for a happy marriage. You'll just be fighting every time. All right, so it's much being said. Thank you so much for watching. You know the drill. Hit the like button, make your comment on the program. And our website is www.clickniger.net. Yeah, so we are right there online every day, all day, every week. All right, thank you so much for watching once again. My name is Jennifer Ogo. On Twitter, we are Click Niger, one on Facebook. I Click Niger on YouTube at Click Niger. And of course, thank you. Bye bye.